what is friction and how that friction acts, and as well as about the frictional force we discussed about it. Now we are going to discuss about the how to reduce. We discussed about all earlier how to reduce the friction, how to increase the friction, and friction, how the friction acts. In this type of, when a body is moving, when we are riding a bicycle, if we stop at that riding, the cycle will travel some of the distance and stops in the distance because of the some frictional force is acting on the tire of the bicycle. So that's why the bicycle stops at some place. So that here some of the frictional force acting which is in equal in magnitude and opposite in opposite direction of opposite to the wheel, means in the what direction force acts on the body, the frictional force acting opposite in that direction, opposite to the direction of the force. So here it is that what is the types of a force, means whenever the body is staying at rest, some of the force is acting on that body, and as well as if the body is moving, and also some of the force, frictional force is acting on that body, and if the body is rolling, means then also some of the force, frictional force is acting on the body, so that the after some of the distance that body traveled, it will stops. So that here the types of friction. Now we are going to discuss about the types of friction and what the laws. Frictional force obeys some of the laws which is obeyed by the frictional force is first of all the types of friction is three types of friction, mostly two type of friction we will discuss in that one. The first one is a static friction and the second one is a kinetic friction. In that kinetic friction, another two type of frictions will become, so that is one is the sliding friction and another one is a rolling friction, that both will comes to into kinetic friction. So that's why we can write that static friction, that is denoted with Fs, and kinetic or dynamic friction or sliding friction, and another one is a rolling friction is also we will discuss another type of a friction like that. So that's why that another one is a rolling friction is denoted with F suffix R. This dynamic friction discussed F suffix K, it is denoted with that. So these are the three types of frictions: static friction, kinetic friction and a rolling friction. Further, what is meant by the static friction means when a body is placed on the surface, body is at rest, then we know that the normal reaction is always acting vertically upwards, perpendicular to the surface and what the surface the body is placed. Though always the normal reaction is acting perpendicularly to the surface, and at the same time always the mass due to the gravitational force, that body mass will acting weight towards the vertically downwards always. So that in case of when the body is staying at rest, if some of the force is applied on the body, if that body does not move, because of the body will opposes the motion, that opposing motion is called as frictional force. If the body is staying at rest, unless we applied the equal amount of force more than the frictional force on that body, then body always stays at rest. Means in a rest condition, its static condition, the resistance encountered by a body is called the force which is acting tangentially to the direction of the force which is applied on the body is called a static friction. That is static friction. And if the body is in motion, then the frictional force which is acting opposite direction to the motion of a body force, then that will be the kinetic friction. And a rolling friction means when the body is rolling, that friction is considered as a rolling friction. Means when the body is rolling, the opposite force, the resistance encountered by a body which is tangential to the body also, that deeply we will discuss later in the later videos. The first of all, then what the laws which is obeyed by the frictional force, frictional force which has obeyed the some of the following the some of the laws, those are this one. The frictional force, for example, if the body is placed on the surface, if in case a mass of body is placed on the surface, it is independent of the area of contact. How much the area is considered, how much the area of contact is there, the static frictional force or either frictional force which does not depend on the area of contact, because of its total mass is acting on the separated, totally distributed all over the surface of the contact. If the body is placed like this, if the body is placed like this, and also same amount of frictional force is acting on that body, So that's why if the body is staying is at rest, so the total mass acting in that body, so that's why the same amount of frictional force is acting. So it's a force, frictional force is independent of area of contact. The frictional force is independent of area of contact. Means the frictional force does not change with the area of contact. That will force is always acts only like that. Same as the area, it doesn't depend on the area. So that the frictional force independent of area of contact. The next one is frictional force is directly proportional to the normal reaction. What is meant by the normal reaction? When the body is placed at the surface, the reaction, the force which is acting perpendicularly in between the surfaces, the normal reaction acting, we know that always already we discussed about this, the normal reaction which is acting perpendicular to the surface. So here it is the normal reaction means the frictional force which is acting between the bodies is always directly proportional to the normal reaction. So that here the F means frictional force, N means normal reaction, F is proportional to N. We can say that F is equal to the mu, we can get the proposed as proportionality constant. The proportionality constant mu is called as a coefficient of friction. Coefficient of friction means when the normal reaction, if the normal reaction is increases, if in case of the mass is increases, the frictional force between the surface also increases. So that here the normal force is directly proportional to the frictional force, means frictional force increases if the normal force is increased. So that the proportionality constant we can get with the solution that equation, then F is equal to mu n. Mu is called as a coefficient of friction. This coefficient of friction is depends on the molecular nature of the surfaces and the relative smoothness between the two surfaces. The frictional force, coefficient of friction is depends on the molecular nature of the surface, whatever the surface nature is there, the molecular surface of the nature, and as well as how much the relative smoothness between the two surfaces. The mu depends on that. The coefficient of friction depends on the relative smoothness and as well as the surfaces, molecular nature of the surfaces. So this is about laws of friction. First one is frictional force is independent of area of contact, and second one is frictional force is directly proportional to the normal reaction. That is, from that we can get F is proportional to N. Then from that F is equal to mu N. Mu is called as a proportionality constant called as a coefficient of friction. It is depends on the molecular nature of the surfaces and the relative smoothness between the surfaces. So that here this, then what is meant by the coefficient of friction? Here we know that the normal reaction is acting always perpendicular to the surface the body which is placed, and as well as here the mass due to the gravitational force, that is called considered as a weight. Weight is acting vertically downwards, means if the weight increased, that means the frictional force increases, so that's why normal reaction is also increases. So that here the ratio between the frictional force acting in this direction, if the body's force is acting in this direction, then frictional force is acting in this direction. So that here always we know that the ratio of frictional force to the normal reaction, the ratio of frictional force to the normal reaction is called a coefficient of friction. The ratio of frictional force to the normal reaction is called a coefficient of friction, and it has no units and dimensions. Coefficient of friction does not have any units and dimensions. Also here the coefficient of friction mostly is always less than 1. Coefficient of friction mu value always less than 1. It is always less than 1. But in some cases, for in case of heavy polished bodies, like heavy polished between the copper plates, consider copper plates, heavily polished copper plates, that may be greater than 1. In case of heavily polished bodies only, the coefficient of friction be greater than 1. Otherwise the coefficient of friction value always be less than 1. So here is that the mu value is less than 1, but in some cases, like But in some cases, like in the case of highly polished body, in case of a highly polished body is greater than 1. Highly polished body is greater than 1. So this is about normally loss of friction and coefficient of friction. Now we are going to discuss about the types. What are the types, and we will deeply discuss about that friction, that is static friction and kinetic or sliding friction, dynamic sliding friction and rolling friction. So first of all, in that, the first one is a static friction. Static friction. Here, when a body is placed, consider a mass of m body is placed on the surface, horizontal table, and over the pulley, some of the pan with the string, over the pulley, pan is connected. That body does not move because of the resultant force acting on that body is a 0. The resultant force acting on the body is a 0. Meanwhile, the body which is a force is acting in this direction because of the pan is suspended over the pulley in this direction with the help of through the string or some of the wire, so that the resistance encountered by a body in static condition, in a static condition. What is meant by the static condition? If the body is staying at one place with rest, means the body is at rest, that means to say the condition of the body is a static condition. So that the resistance encountered by a body in static condition while tending to move under the action of an external force. Listen carefully. The resistance encountered by a body, in a static condition, while tending to move. The body is not moving, which is ready tending to move, means the body ready to move if the external by the influence of by under the action of an external force, means if the external force is acting on a body, if the net resultant force is not equal to 0, if the equal amount of the frictional force which is acting, if in case of the mass is increased in the pan, the weight of the pan is increased by putting some of the weights, the body force is acting in this direction, that frictional force which is opposite direction to the applied force, already we know that the frictional force which is opposite direction to the force is acting in this direction, the frictional force which is opposite direction, until that body magnitude of frictional force then applied force is equal to same, both are same, means applied force and the frictional force is same, means F is equal to Fs, that body will stays at rest, unless if the F is less than also Fs also, body is staying at rest, it will be in static condition. When the mass of the body is going to increase further, means F is equal to Fs, means Fs means static frictional force. If the more than this, that will be the maximum frictional force is acting on that body, means the net external force is equal to the frictional force, which both are equally forces, both are applying the equal forces, like if in case of tug of war, so both the persons are pulling the rope with the equal amount of force, that rope will stay at same place, doesn't move to the either sides. So like that, here the force is acting in this direction and same frictional force is also in this direction, because of the normal force is acting vertical upwards and weight vertically downward direction, so that the body whenever which is tend to move in this direction, so that always frictional force is acting tangential, opposite direction, tangential to the body and opposite direction to the applied force. Opposite direction, the applied force is in this direction, the frictional force is in this direction, so that the resistance is encountered by the body here in a static condition, means the resistance means the body which is ready to tend pulling it inside, but the body which doesn't move because of the net force is not equal to the, not more than the frictional force. If the heavy mass of a body is there, If we use the normal force on the body doesn't move because of the net and external frictional force is not equal to same applied force. If we apply the more external force on the body than the frictional force, that body will ready to move. That here the resistance encountered by a body in static condition, when the body is in static conditions, resistance is encountered while tending to move under the action of an external force. When the external force is acting, the body which is ready to tending to move, that resistance is encountered by a body in static condition is called a static friction. It's static friction. So that here whenever the body is moving, already the body comes to the net external force is acting on the body is more, then the body frictional force which is the applied force which is equal to frictional force, then body which is ready to slide down, that means the force is maximum. The frictional force comes to maximum state. When the frictional force is maximum, the static friction is called as, means the static frictional force is maximum. The static frictional force is maximum. The frictional force is called as a limiting frictional force. That is a limiting frictional force. That is limiting friction. Means that is the limit. That is the maximum limit of the static friction. More than that, the body can't stay in static condition. If that limit has crossed, that body is ready to move, so it tends to move, it will be moving, that moves into the kinetic motion. Body will be in the motion. So that is the limit of that body, friction, the limit of that static limit of that body, so that's in static condition. So that the maximum friction, the maximum static friction is called a limiting friction. Limiting friction. So that the frictional force is, the static frictional force is equal in magnitude in the direction of opposite to the applied force, and always we know that tangential between the two surfaces, whatever the surfaces in contact between them, it is always acting tangential. The body which is moved, ready to move in this direction, that is our frictional force is acting and tangential to that body between the two surfaces. Between the two surfaces, that frictional force acting tangentially. So on what the laws based the frictional force acts, means we know that already laws of motion, laws of friction we discussed about it. In this, the static friction is independent of area of contact. It does not depend on the area of contact. If in case of the area is less, also same amount of friction static friction is acting on that body. While the body is at rest static condition, the static friction is always act in a direction opposite to that in which the body tends to move. When the body is moving in this direction, the static friction is always acting in this direction, means Fs is always acting in this direction, which is in opposite to that applied force. Means body is also tends to move in this direction. So that's why when the body is moving some of the direction, that it tends to move in this direction, the frictional force which is opposite direction equal in magnitude. So that the next one is, it is a self-adjusting force. Self-adjusting force means here the body, if the area of contact is more, then it will be acting on the total part of the body. How much the angle of contact is there? The equal amount of force is acting. If the area of contact is more, some amount of the friction is acting on that body. Then if the less amount of frictional force is acting on the body, means area of contact is less. If the area of contact is less, then also the same amount of friction is acting in this part. So that here the static friction is a self-adjusting force that will self-adjust with the area of contact. So that's why it is independent of the area of contact. The equal same amount of force is acting, say frictional force is acting. So that's why we can say that it is a self-adjusting force. And the magnitude of static friction is always equal to the force which tends to move the body. When the body is not moving, the equal magnitude of frictional force is acting, same amount of frictional force. Same amount of frictional force which is acting the body with the force which tends to move the body. Same amount of body. If in case of the body is some of the force is applied, some of the 10 newtons, if in case The same amount of 10 newtons friction force by the body means the magnitude of static friction is always equal to the force, means 10 newtons force is applying, same amount of frictional force is also acting. It depends on the mass of a body. If in case of 10 newtons the body will be is moving, then that will move turns into the kinetic friction. So that the maximum limit always, unless the body is moving which is tends to move, in that case the magnitude of the static friction will be equal to the force which tends to move the body, and we know that it is independent of area of contact. So that this is the laws of static friction. Once again, the static friction is always acting in a direction opposite to that of in which body tends to move, and it is a self-adjusting force, and the magnitude of static friction is always equal and opposite to the force which tends to move the body, and it is independent of area of contact. And the value of limiting frictional force is means the maximum static friction, the maximum limit of the static friction is considered as limiting friction, so that the value of limiting frictional force is directly proportional to the normal reaction, So here it is that we know that Fl is proportional to N, Fl is considered as a limiting friction, Fl suffix L is a limiting friction. So Fl is equal to mu s into N. Mu s is considered as that's a proportionality constant. Mu s is a proportionality constant, is called a coefficient of static friction. That is mu s is equal to Fl by N. So that here the limiting friction means Fl means limiting friction, N is the normal reaction, mu s is the coefficient of static friction. In that case, what is meant by the coefficient of friction? Already we discussed about the coefficient of friction. In case of when the body is in static condition, that coefficient of friction acting between the two surfaces is considered as a coefficient of static friction. That is the ratio of limiting friction or static friction to the normal reaction. We can say that the limiting friction or the static friction both are the same, because of in the static friction the stage of static friction is considered as limiting friction. So that's why limiting friction can be considered as a static friction. So that the ratio of static friction to the normal reaction, that is mu s is equal to Fs by N. Fs be the static friction and be the normal reaction, both the ratio between them is called mu coefficient of static friction. Some of the materials which I have taken, what is the friction coefficient of friction acting between the materials? Let's see. Here we should take that steel, between the steel and steel, whenever the one of the steel material is on the another steel material, the frictional force, the coefficient of friction acting between them is 0.58. The value of the coefficient of friction is 0.58. We should remember that coefficient of friction value always be less than 1. But in case of a heavily polished copper plates, heavily polished body may be greater than 1. In case of a heavily polished body be greater than 1, unless the body coefficient of friction value always be less than 1. Here the steel and steel will be 0.58, and steel, if we come for the steel to brass, the value is decreased 0.35, and glass and glass, that limit is equal to 1.00, that is the limiting friction. Coefficient of friction is 1. So here it is that wood and wood, both wood surfaces, whenever they are in contact, then 0.35 with the coefficient of static friction, and wood to the metal 0.40, and ice and ice 0.10, and if we take the copper to copper, that is 1.60. Here we already discussed about this. When the body coefficient of friction is always less than 1, for in special cases, in case of the special cases of the heavily heavily polished copper plates, the coefficient of friction be greater than 1, that is 1.60, that is coefficient of friction is greater than 1. So that here Teflon to Teflon will be the 0.04, the less amount of coefficient of static friction is there. Rubber tie to the concrete road, if in case of dry road, that is equal to 1.0. If the rubber on wet concrete road, in wet concrete road that will be 0.7, the friction force will be decreases, because of whenever we are traveling in a wet road, the tire can be slipped. Whenever we are moving fast, then if we put the brake, then the tire can be slipped because of the some of the layer reacting between them wet road. So that's why here rubber tire on wet concrete road will be 0.7. This is the coefficient of static friction values between the some of the materials.